Hello, good morning. Today I will be discussing the helical model of communication. The helical model of communication was proposed by Frank Dance in 1967 to throw some more light on communication process. So Frank E. Dance is a professor at the University of Denver working under the Department of Communication Studies. So to start off, let's define a helix. A helix is a three-dimensional shape of a wire wrapped around the cone. It is also similar to a spring that goes forward and can go back to itself. It looks like a funnel, a cone, or like a tornado shape. It can also be resembled to a DNA, which goes spiral. So here's an example. When a baby is born, the nurse rubs his back to make the child cry. As the child grows up, he cries whenever he is hungry or expects something from his parents and sometimes simply for his parents' attention. When the same child grows up and starts going to school, he soon interacts with his parents, teachers, friends in the form of words. The child actually started communicating the very first day of his life and has been communicating all through till the present day. According to the model, the process evolves from the very birth of an individual and continues till the existing moment. All living entities start communicating from the very first day of their origin. Here's another example. When seeds are planted, they convey the message to the gardener that they need to be watered daily and should be treated well with fertilizers and manure. When a plant emerges from the seed, it also starts communicating its need for water, sunlight, manure, and fertilizers. Another example is when an individual in his elementary classes learns to pronounce a particular word or react to a particular situation. And another instance is that the fear of the child when suddenly the light goes off at night, resulting in a complete blackout, is present in his younger days as well as when he grows up. Here's how the model looks like. Day one, the child communication evolves, and then the child communication continues and depends on past activities. Now, going down to the bottom, on the current day, communication continues with modifications. So every time the child gets older and older, he learns new things. And as he learns new things, he will eventually develop these learnings as he or she goes back to the previous learnings. Now, the helix model has particular strengths. It implies that number one, communication is continuous, unrepeatable, additive, and accumulative. All right. So as it goes on, it only develops. And for number two, all experience contributes to the shape of of the unfolding moment. There is no break in the action, no fixed beginning, no pure redundancy, and no closure. So that means learning doesn't stop. And number three, all communicative experience is a product of learned, non repeatable events, which are defined in ways the organism develops to be self consistent and socially meaningful. Now, for this model's weakness, number one, it may not be a model at all because there are too few variables. And number two, it generates questions but leaves much unanswered, which it's considered abstract. Now, the model brings problems of abstraction into the open. The model believes that communication process is just like a helix, which moves forward as well as comes backward and is dependent on the behavior patterns of the past with some modifications and changes. Now, as the child grows up, he thus makes slight changes in his past body movements or past pronunciation or even facial expression. Now, the difference with other models is that this model does not have any literal features or elements. Therefore, it is an abstract model. Using symbolizes the dynamics of human communication. All right, if you have any question, you are free to comment them down below. Thank you for listening. Here are my references for further learning. Thank you.